Okay, so I have used my notes to draw my block, my bodice block for ladies. So with this bodice block, I want to grade it now. I want to start with the back of the block. So for me, normally what I do, I just remove the parts that I don't want, and I'll be left with my back bodice. Or you can do, or you can use the I just remove the parts that I don't want because I already have the front, so I don't need it now. I want to totally remove it. Instead of doing this, which takes time, you guys, you know better than me, you can actually use the shape tool and break all the things that need to be broken, and you will be left with just your back and your front. But because I already have my front, I have already graded my front, I already have a grading of my front block. It's not here, this is it, this is my front block. I have it is graded. I just want the back. That's why I am deleting the part that I don't need. I don't need the front because I already have it and I've already graded it. So I'm just removing this. Oh, what's the fastest way to delete these things? As you can see, to actually construct a block, I used my notes, but if you use Winfred Outreach, it's up to you. Like right now, I'm going to grade, and I'm going to be grading using Winfred Outreach. So you can do whatever you feel comfortable with. But I'm going to use the measurements from Winfred Outreach to grade my pattern. I'm going to use the size chart from Winfred Outreach. But we know when we are grading, that's usually the pattern is lying the other way. So normally what I do in this case, let me try and put 90 degrees here. No, it didn't go it that way because I wanted to move it this way. It's 90 and then another 90. So let me try 180. No, let me try 270 here. My mathematics is wrong. So when it's now parallel like this, I hope I did not move my center. No, I didn't. Okay. When it's now parallel like this, it's now exactly on the horizontal like this. I no longer need all this. I don't need this because these points I was using them when I was constructing my block, following my notes. I just want to be left with my back that I can grade it. I want you to go on outreach outreach page number. Let me check what page number it is so that we can go together. Okay. Okay. Where are my notes? Where is my outreach? It's in these notes. For women's wear, because I was using my measurements here to construct this block. So it's for women's wear. I'm going to follow this size chart on page number. I want you to follow the size chart on page number. This is page number 12 of Winfred Outreach. Metric pattern cutting for women's wear. Right. So here we are. I was in the middle of removing this and this and this. And here I always need to put my green line to show that I am now a student who knows what I'm doing. And the reason why we always put the green line and we always label our patterns in mass production, patterns can get lost. You can misplace a pattern. If you have been to big companies where they do mass production, you can see sometimes they will have a lot of patterns. And if for any reason your pattern is not labeled, someone might end up taking your pattern and put it on another pattern. And you make a completely new design of your own that no one has ever seen, that the company is not trying to make. So always you should label to avoid mistakes, because someone can just you can just tell someone, go and pick up the pattern on my table, and say pick up pattern, and they will just pick any pattern and they will bring it, and you combine it and you cut the wrong thing, and you have totally done a mistake in production. That's used to happen in production. So always a pattern should be labeled. Yeah, I wanted to write size small, then I write sizes. I can even write pattern number here. I can say 1366. Maybe this is my style number here. Style number. I can even put also the description if I want this one is whatever it is. But for me, this one I did not put because it's just the basic block. The one for constructing other blocks is just a basic Dartless block. So when I've done this, as you can see, everything that you see here is in layer 1, which we are going to change here and rename it to size. Let's just say size medium this time. Okay, and then we're going to open another new layer and call it size large. So I'm now grading. I start with my neckline. My neckline, when I was constructing, I don't know what happened here. I ended up with 2 lines. Nape to waist measurements is increasing from one size to the next by 0.4. So I go on my step and repeat. In case you don't have your step and repeat docked here, you go on Windows, Dockers, and then you tick on step and repeat. The layers are on Object Manager. Where do you get Object Manager? Windows, Dockers, and then you tick your Object Manager. That's how you end up with this object, this which shows you your layers. Step and repeat is the one that shows you for grading. And then the contour, I also have the object properties here. These are just the dimensions of my line, like how thick they are, the color. Then you can also have the contour lines. Contour lines are when you have finished grading and you want to put your what you call your seam lines. You just put your, when you finished your block, you just, and you have graded it, you can add your seam lines, or you can add your seam lines, because with CorelDRAW it's difficult now to add to grade once you have put your seam lines. So you can just put your seam lines after you've finished. So this one is going to go in this. Always the Cartesian plane, we know the Cartesian plane, we know on our Cartesian plane, we know. Sorry, let me go down here. Let me go here. On our Cartesian plane, we know this is minus x, and this is minus y, I mean, and this is minus x. Then this will be y, and then this will be x. So, like I said, look at your size charts, Winfred Aldridge, for women's size 12. This one I want it to go 0.4 in the upward direction on step repeat, which the upward direction in this case will be my x direction to the right, which is the horizontal side. So I say 0.3 here, 0.3. But another thing is I want to open this neckline by 0.25 here, because my neckline, the grading for my neckline, it's 1 centimeter, but this is just a quarter of that neckline, and I want to open it by 0.25, a quarter of that 1 centimeter. So in the vertical direction, I can go up by 0.25. This will cause this point to move here by 0.25, because I'm trying to move here 0.25, but I have to come back and fix this. So for now, I'm doing it for the sake of grading here. I'll come back and fix it. But you know, this point is going 0.3 up, 0.3 to the horizontal. And then this point will go 0. Sorry, it's 0.4, 0.4. Nap to waist measurement is 0.4. So this one will go 0.4, this one will also go 0.4, but this one will open up the neckline by 0.25. So when you say apply, you now end up with something like this. All right, you have graded this point. Now we have come to your shoulder. Your shoulder, you know, this point, like when I showed you, we want it to move 0.4 here. 0.4, the same movement that we used here is the same movement that we use here, and it is also here on our table. I'm not just getting this from my head. As you can see on our table here, the front shoulder to waist is increasing by 0.4. The increment is 0.4. The nape to waist is also increasing by 0.4. And even the arm side depth, it's also increasing by 0.4. So this is where my 0.4 is coming from. So I will go, this will go up by 0.4, which is in the horizontal direction, this one. But this will have to go 0.5 here. Remember, our shoulder increment is 0.25, but we have part of our shoulder here that has been, remember this 0.25, this 0.25 of our shoulder that has been taken when we opened our neckline. We need to retain it, so that's the best explanation I can give. So it's 0.4 here, 0.5 there, right? So 0.4 upwards, and then in the vertical direction it will be 0.5. We say apply. Then we have our new shoulder and our new neckline, and it's making sense. Right. Armhole. Back width is increasing by 1 centimeter from one size to the next. If you look at your size chart, so because this is half of the back, it moves in the vertical direction by 0.5. So here we say no offset in the horizontal direction, but 0.5 here. Wow, voila. And then here, this line, when we grade this one, we're going to be grading our bust, we're going to be grading our waist, and also this our hem, our hip, whatever you call it, also by 0 by 1 centimeter. Why? Because the increment, if you look on our size chart for the bust, the waist, and this, like on our this one we have got our bust, our waist, and also our hip. The increment is 4 centimeters, 4 centimeters, 4 centimeters. But because this is just a quarter, we divide by 4. So we've got an upward grading here of 4, of 4 ish, of 1. We apply. And then we go back. The length, what is the length, total length that you would want? For me, let's go here, and it says here waist to floor. It's increasing by 1 centimeter, by 1 centimeter, by 1 centimeter. There is also sleeve length slash jersey. Let's just say this block, we want going to use it to so that I don't vex you. Let's say just this block we're going to use, we want an increment of total length. If we're going to use it to cut, let's say a jacket or whatever, a t-shirt maybe. Let's say the length of our t-shirts is increasing by 1 centimeter from here to here. We already have 0.4 here, so we can add 0.6 here. So this will be the horizontal measurement, but this time it's in the left direction, in the left direction, which is a minus. So we put minus here, and then on the then you say apply. Eesh. Why did it move inwards instead of going upwards? Oh, it's supposed to be offset here. So I say apply. And then after I finish, like I told you, when I have finished my grading, we also have the waist to hip, waist, hip to waist measurement. We've graded everything, included everything. Now we want to, once you have finished, now as you can see, if you go on object manage, everything that you have graded, this line, this line, this line, they are all in one layer. So you now need to move all these things. Let's start with this, and then this. So you now move them to your size large. So when I click the line, it will tell me where it is. With Corel Draw, there are so many things that you can discover as you go, as you move. You will find that maybe there is actually an easier way, or maybe of actually grading than mine, than this one. This one is for beginners, but you can actually find more ways. So let me just hide my size large for now. I want to hide my size medium for now. See, okay, my size large. It is lacking this line. So this line needs to be, how come this line was too length? So I need to remove one of this so that I can be left with one. And then this one. Yo, what is happening? Okay. So this line needs to appear in both lines. Copy. And then paste. Then so is every other thing in here except the size. I don't know what I did here. So this is my size large. Then I also need to put this line and this line also at the next line. So when you have finished, grading like this, and you have your graded block, your back that is graded, it will be like this. It will be like this. This is me with three sizes. Then you can give color to each size so that they look different. You put them in different layers, then you put them in different places, and then you can actually now start to make a marker for your um for your patterns. Something that I also wanted to show you was let me see if it will work here. I don't know what I did. I wanted to show you how to put contour lines, because you can, all you need to do is adjust here and put 1 centimeter, and then it will put 1 centimeter uh, on 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 the contour of all your lines. But it's because I have these lines and also these lines, so it's contouring everything. But I can remove this, or I can push the contour lines before I actually put this, you know. So many methods of doing it, or just to, because your contour lines, they are the seam lines. You can use it to add your seam lines of 1 cm or 2 cm if you use 2 cm. And then once you have done that, you can now create your marker. I hope we are all clear, and I hope we all understood. Okay, thank you.